the starting lineups brought to you by Southwest Airlines. First for the Quakes under Chris Leach.
Yeah, 4-4-2 for Chris Leach's Quakes. Flo Youngworth comes into that number 6 defensive midfield position with Saran and Godoy both suspended. Vaco Huson in wide positions, and it's Wando up top with Marco Reina.
And now for the Dynamo, Wilmer Cabrera will line them up like this.
Yeah, 4-3-3 for Wilmer Cabrera's Dynamo. Got a new DP Thomas Martinez in the midfield area. It's a very experienced back four, but those front three up front, for me, they are very dangerous.
Those are who made his debut in MLS in 2014, and we are underway at Avaya Stadium. Take a look at how these two teams have fared head-to-head, and maybe a little payback for the Earthquakes after the last two times these teams have met in Houston. Definitely different conditions. Both matches, temperatures were up over 90 degrees. And in fact, last month, the humidity was up around 90 as well, midway through the match. But very different temperatures here tonight. Low 70s, and it'll dip into the high 60s as we continue.
I think it really comes down to who shows up tonight, I think. You know, Danielle and I were talking about this before the game. Who shows up? Because Houston just doesn't play well on the road. One win all season on the road. Very good at home. The Earthquakes, very good at home. Obviously not so good on the road recently as well. So it's an intriguing matchup because both teams have got players to make the difference. It really comes down to who wants it the most, I think.
Quakes' 6-match unbeaten streak coming into tonight here at Avaya Stadium. One loss in their last 16 here at home. Seemed like just yesterday we were in Houston as Machado has that ricochet back to the keeper tonight for Houston, Tyler Derrick, who was between the sticks for the shutout against San Jose last month at BBVA Compass Stadium. Salinas nodding that one down and out. It'll be a throw-in for Houston.
It's going to be a good matchup, that is. Elise versus Shea Salinas. You know, we talked to Shea about his transition to that left-back position. He feels comfortable with it, but obviously he's more of an attacking player than he is a defensive player. But at least, I mean, he's a handful if he gets going.
And we saw that just last month. Elise, the Honduran, scored in the 7th minute and had an assist last month and had a goal against the Earthquakes back in April in the 72nd minute in that 2-0 victory. Beautiful night at Avaya, good crowd. And they're just waiting to get behind the Earthquakes, who play 4 of their final 6 here at Avaya. We'll still have a trip in there to go to DC next weekend. Already some problems for San Jose, but stepping up for the Earthquakes. This is Affolter defending, and the shot is easily managed by Andrew Tarbo.
Houston didn't quite drop quick enough for Jackson Ewell, but it's a set piece again for the Quakes. Looks like it's going to be Vaco on the left-hand side, is that? Oh, is Jackson Ewell going to take the set piece? No, I'll get it right in a second. Anybody else I could pick? Let's go with Shea Salinas, shall we?
We only had 9 more. Salinas, this one will swing out, and a header.
So you got the 3 forwards just hanging up there.
Advantage given as Elise goes down. And Houston maintaining control here. Elise was given a yellow card against the Earthquakes for simulation. And these two teams played last month on a play where he dove in to, I'm not sure if it was Victor Bernardez or Andres Imperiali, but he jumped into an Earthquake player, and in that match the referee had an eye toward it, and at the time I think you and I talked about it, could have been a foul on the Earthquakes, but instead it was called on Houston. And that play was similar, with at least jumping into the Earthquake defender.
Yeah, as an athlete, Elise, he'll keep coming at you as well, but I think Shea Salinas is edging that battle right now, that's for sure. But there's always those kind of one-on-one matchups. Elise is a tough athlete. He'll be going for 90 minutes.
He's only 21 years old, already 26 caps with the Honduran national team, part of their Gold Cup effort this summer. On loan from Monterrey in Mexico. And wide, this one for Sarkoty. Danny Houston pulls it down. The shot! Oh! Goal, San Jose! Danny Houston, 1-0 Earthquakes.
It's great work here. First of all, the hold-up work by Danny Houston and the movement to get the ball wide into that area where Kofi Sarkodie can provide that kind of cross that comes into an area where Houston once again has made the movement. A lot of grounds from side to side, but making good decisions defensively as well.
I know it's something you like to see when players give up their body for the defensive player, for the betterment of the team. And he did there for sure.
Imperiali as well. I like the way that players are trying to support these outside backs. They know that Elise and Kyoto are dangerous, but that time it was Imperiali. It's been Youngworth, Affolter on the other side helping Kofi Sarkodie. It's been good.
Affolter coming over to help. Houston chipping away, continuing to knock on the door with those through balls. 2 minutes of stoppage time. Well over the top of the intended
Danielle,
Elise.
Danielle, I like the way that Houston and Vacco, although they're playing in foreign positions for them, they both seem to have done a great job of helping out defensively and also getting forward at the same time and helping Wondolowski. Yes?
Yeah, I agree. I think there's been a lot of interchange in that front four. Danny Houston is tucked in. He obviously came in towards that goal. Vacco, you found him on the right side as well. So a lot of good interchanging, and I think that's added some dimension to the attack for the Earthquakes.
Just about a minute through and a minute left in this first half stoppage time. Boniek Garcia. Give it go. Give it right back to Florian Youngworth. Quakes might have the numbers if they hurry. Jackson Ewell for Marco Orena. Machado follows it toward the sideline. This one whipped in. Headed back for Houston. Give it go. Beautifully. Give it right back. Could not quite connect with Jackson Ewell. Timing seems to just be off a little bit for Vacco tonight.
Yeah, that final pass hasn't quite been there, but as I mentioned, I like the movement. I like the fact that he's looking for other players. I like the way Danny Houston's involved as well.
Marco Orena trying to give the Quakes the lead by 2. This ball was kind of trickling in front of Tyler Derrick. For Vacco, pulling it back onto his left foot. The shot! Derrick is there for the two-handed save.
It was created by the work of Marco Orena again with just another great run, good movement to create space for himself. And when he came across, we did see that cut back onto the left foot of Vacco. Challenges so well. When he goes to ground, he normally doesn't make a mistake.
Martinez advancing the cross.
He's there again.
Man on the spot tonight.
It's a good start to the second half. This by the Houston Dynamo. They've come out fired up. I would imagine some words in the halftime dressing room from Cabrera.
And came out with a punch away.
Well, he had to make a decision there, Andrew Tarbell. Wasn't pretty, but at the end of the day, he got it at that dangerous area. So I think at the end of the day, that was a good save.
More pressure continuing for the Dynamo. And clearly, Houston came out ready to try and even this thing up.
Yes, very good start by Houston Dynamo to the second half. Quakes need some possession. This is where Marco Orena can be so key for them. It's Wondolowski this time, but I think that ball into those channels, those longer balls where Marco can hold the ball up, it's going to leave some of this pressure that Houston Dynamo are putting on the Quakes.
Kubo Torres says Kofi Sarkodie was calling for the offside, and the flag was up. So Sarkodie with a good call, helping out our AR on the far side. Major League Soccer returns to Avaya on Wednesday, September 27th, with the Quakes host the Chicago Fire. Tickets still available for this match. Visit sjearthquakes.com to secure your seat or seats today. Chicago Fire with a victory today. Chicago 3-0 over the Quakes' next opponent, DC United.
It's an exciting team coming into Avaya there with Nick Kalic, who's winning, I think anyway, very close to the Golden Boot. I mean, there's been so many goals going in by Martinez recently. I'm not too sure it's actually on top of that Golden Boot right now. And obviously World Cup winner Bastian Schweinsteiger coming into town as well. So a good team for the fans to see here at Avaya.
I'll give you one guess who leads the Golden Boot standings.
David Villa.
A soccer match in San Jose. Wondolowski! He snuck behind that back line. The flag stayed down.
I mean, Wondolowski does that so well. Just didn't quite get the height he needed to direct it on goal, but good ball by Shea Salinas into a good space as well.
Momentarily, the momentum shifting in favor of the Earthquakes as Martinez to Kyoto. Has it on his left foot, slides it for Torres. And now to DeMarcus Beasley. A left footer, crossing it in front. Still loose. Played back, and that drive was lifted over the crossbar. That was nearly a Houston goal. I'm not sure which defensive player was there. Was it Andres Imperiali? Somebody was there for the Earthquakes to help out.
There's a set piece that came in. Wondolowski sees clearly onside when the ball comes in from Shea Salinas. Unlucky for the captain, but the timing of his runs, again, he goes about 3 or 4 yards behind that line of the Houston Dynamo, gives himself some space to sprint into. Good ball by Shea, good pace on it.
Danny Houston routing it down to DeMarcus Beasley, who's been having trouble tonight on the slick Avaya Stadium turf. This one will go out for a San Jose throw-in. Gift is proud to be the official gift card provider of the San Jose Earthquakes. Use the Gift app to send.
It's going to be on that counter-attack for the Earthquakes. So obviously, the Houston Dynamo come out with a lot of energy, putting the front three, putting the back four of the Earthquakes under more pressure.
Florian Jungwirth, that one tailed on him as he set that one up from distance. Well, we've talked about some of the scores tonight and live standings with those results and pending contests, including the Earthquakes. 5th place if they win.
It's crazy tight, and it's going to be this way for the next 5 games after this one. And I keep talking about that first tiebreaker, which is wins, the amount of wins. At the moment, Dallas only with 9. And they have a game in hand on the Earthquakes, but they got to win it. If they keep tying them, and the Earthquakes can get those points at home especially, which they are more than capable of doing. So you're saying we've got a chance?
Well, Dallas, as Martinez rifles that one right into the midsection of Andrew Tarbo. Dallas, 9 straight without a victory. Kicks for Kids brought to you by PGD is a ticket distribution program for underserved groups. If you know an organization or a family need, please visit sjearthquakes.com/community. FC Dallas at the start of the year, and even after the end of last year's playoffs, a team many thought would be vying for the MLS title, but they started strong and just have fallen apart with today's draw against Seattle. 9 straight without a victory.
And how many times have we seen this in Major League Soccer, whether it's the East or the West? I mean, last season it was Seattle. Before that it was Portland Timbers, who really didn't look like they were going to make the playoffs, and yet they got on a run. They made the playoffs. They made the final. Everything happens. It's a situation where earlier in the season I thought that FC Dallas were unbeatable, and then I picked Sporting Kansas City after that, so I've got all those wrong. And at the moment, it looks like Vancouver's the team to beat as far as winning the division.
Vancouver got a goal today from Freddie Montero. Ended up drawing their match with Columbus. Tomorrow with a goal. That'll be a foul on Boniek Garcia.
It was on as well. Just another 2 or 3 yards away there. Danny Houston and Vacco on the same page. Referee pulled it back, but Vacco's got some energy tonight. I like the way he's getting involved in the game and fighting for the ball. That's what you got to bring to this team. You got to bring it to Major League Soccer, is that ability to not only score those fancy goals, but you got to put a shift in. It's a tough league to play in.
Beasley, I think, had different idea for that one.
Danielle, bit of a different energy for Houston in the second half. What are you seeing?
Well, Houston seems to be having a lot of the ball, and I think part of the reason of that is because the 2 center backs, Affolter and Imperiali, they're not stepping up quickly enough for me. So there's some space to play in transition as we see Houston take over the ball right here.
This could be a problem. Affolter, Cubo Torres sending it in front, but Elise arriving late. 1v1. There's the shot. Whoa, wide. Got it onto his left foot. Took Salinas inside and nearly tucked that one in the far post. Back post. The Quakes continue their push to MLS playoffs as they head east to face DC United next Saturday, 4 o'clock. We'll have it for you on NBC Sports California. Still some work to get done here in front of the home fans at Avaya Stadium.
Danielle's right. The game's got a little bit stretched out for the Earthquakes. Too much space between Jackson Ewell and Ifolta and Imperiale, and it's the speed of these forwards I think they're concerned about in those back two.
Garcia to Martinez. Kyoto wants it on his right foot. Good defensive work there by Sarconi. Still work to be done. Kyoto whipping one in. There's a header back post, and it hits that far post. Cross for Torres. Headed in front. And right into the waiting mitts of Andrew Tarbo. By Danny Houston. Minute 75. It's the Houston goal that has the Quakes ahead. And an offside.
Yeah, Sanchez came back from an offside position. One thing with Sanchez will bring you, Vicente Sanchez, is more of a true, I mean, he's wearing number 10, but he's true, more a true number 10. He's a little playmaker, gets on the ball, nice left foot. A little bit different dimension, a little bit more different dynamic, and he's in there purely now to cheat a little bit as far as not defend, but also try and feed the two outside players for me, and maybe slide things for Cubo Torres.
We had a chance to see Vicente Sanchez in Colorado. He played for Wilmer Cabrera, who was on the coaching staff there. Spent 3 years in Colorado, did Sanchez. And you saw Wilmer Cabrera waving to his subs to bring down one player. We'll check to see who. It looks like Mauro Manotas, the Colombian, getting ready to come on here. But the Quakes will have a corner first. Here in the 76th minute, it'll be Jackson Ewell.
Once again, just a lot of people standing in one space in that penalty area. A lot of pushing and shoving going on the back of Flo Youngworth.
Lofted ball. Wondolowski putting it on! Just wide. Wando, I think, just wanted to put it on frame. Manotas comes on. Member of the Colombian U20 program. Manotas scored against the Earthquakes.
Yeah, it's very much a like for like.
Yep.
Another speed burner in Manotas. Talented player, very quick.
And when he scores a goal, the Dynamo are unbeaten, 4-0-3. Manotas has won 2-goal match, so 8 on the year. To go with 5 assists. And again, Wilmer Cabrera looking for that spark off the bench. Sanchez has already come on here, dragging it back to that left foot and the drive. Short hop and an easy grab for Andrew Tarbell.
It's an easy grab, but it's a difficult one for Tarbell. Just hits the ground in front of him. He had to make sure he holds on to that because Cubo Torres was really waiting there.
Marco Arena is onside. Marco Arena in on Derek Tibbs. Too much pace. And nearly had it 2-0 Earthquakes.
And for me, again, for Marco Arena in a Quake shirt and in this performance was putting one of those chances away. Everything else, wonderful. The work rate, the attitude, the movement, the ability to bring other players into the game, create space for other players. Just want to see him put one in the back of the net.
Well, this free kick is no day at the beach for San Jose.
Sanchez on the ball. Good left foot.
87th minute free kick. A lot of movement in front of Andrew Tarbell. Andrew Tarbell able to poke it over and out. Back post, a lot of activity back there. Now you're seeing the sense of urgency from Houston. Contact right at the edge of the 18. This time it's Andres Imperiale who's saying to Alan Kelly, I'm fine, I'm getting up now.
Trying to find Elise anytime they can at the moment, into his feet, into his chest, over the top. But as the half has grown, I think the comfort level of Imperial and Alfolter together there. They've done a better job as the second half of the second half, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
As far as making sure there wasn't any space behind them. And I think that maybe Jungwirth and Ewell have connected a little bit better as well, made it a little bit tighter as a team in that midfield area.
Alan Kelly, all eyes on the man in the middle. Jackson Ewell pulling it back, trying to maintain possession, winning possession. And that'll do it. Alan Kelly signaling the end of this match as the Earthquakes make a 34th minute goal from Danny Houston, hold up here at Avaya Stadium as Chris Leach gets the home victory, and the Quakes remain so difficult at home.